Hello everyone, it's Luli, and today I'll be talking about otome games that are available for free on PC and mobile. So I understand that some of you don't exactly have a lot of money and therefore want something that's free, or some of you may have never played otome games before, in which case you kind of want to play something maybe free because you don't want to spend money on something that you're unsure of. So today I decided to make a recommendations video so that I can introduce you to a couple of free otome games that I have come across and have seen good reviews about. So literally yesterday what I did was I went on Steam, I went through, reviews of what you kind of come across, and then literally played and binged about three otome games. So I'll be going through four because there was one that I played previously. They're all going to be free, and at the end I'll quickly talk about an app that's available on the phone that will give you access to some otome games as well. But before I start, remember that although I would not consider any of what I include in this video spoilers, I'm aware that what you may consider spoilers and what I may consider as spoilers may not quite align. So if you're really sensitive and you don't even want to know a tiny bit about the game, then I would swiftly move on. But anyway, let me start. So okay, so the first one I want to talk about, and the one that I tried, is called Cinderella Phenomenon. This game is about a girl who is a princess in this castle. She's, oh bless her, but I guess her upbringing, she's a little bit cold and a little bit elitist, shall we say. And basically it's set in a world where, the law is that there are fairies and witches, and the fairies are in charge of all the good things in the world, and the witches are in charge of the bad things in the world, because you need to have both for there to be, well, I guess both, if you know what I mean. In order to have good, you need bad, type of thing. So they actually, get along. There's harmony. But one day, one human, of course, Grimm, comes along and creates these things called fairy tales that you all probably know about, and I do too. And what it's caused is for people to, sort of demonize or vilify witches, which caused humans to go on a crazy rampage and kill off all the witches. I mean, obviously they didn't kill off all of them, but there was this great war where the witches went a bit crazy, and then anyway, you'll need to play the game to learn a little bit more about this in detail. But as a result of this, these things called fairy tale curses appear, and I think I've only played a couple of hours of this game, so I couldn't tell you in complete detail, but these fairy tale curses are curses that end up being placed on these people, and it causes them to kind of turn into a fairy tale character. Now, there's various reasons as to why this happens, but this, of course, happens to the main character, and it's about her kind of going on a journey of trying to break this curse. And there are multiple allies. I have come across two of them so far. One's called Fritz, the other one I don't know the name of yet. The one that I don't know the name of yet is so my type, because he's got long hair and he just looks so pretty. And okay, I'm looking forward to completing it. But I think so far it's I'm really surprised at the quality of this game. It was really good. The couple of hours that I have played it, though it's not the characters aren't voiced or anything, the artwork is relatively high quality, the storytelling is high quality. I haven't seen any grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes or anything like that, so it's a relatively wholesome, solid game. So if you really like fairy tales and a western setting and something that's a little bit magical, you may really enjoy this game. I really liked it. The music as well, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting much. I know that sounds rude, but when I think of free games, I'm not expecting something fantastic. But this game, already at the beginning, I was tearing up a little bit. Which is hilarious because, you have these mainstream games where, everything is perfect. The art is perfect, the music is perfect, there's voice acting, and the story is perfect, but they don't necessarily manage to make me tear up or cry. Whereas Cinderella Phenomenon, at the beginning, I was feeling a little bit emotional, because of sort of why the main character is the way she is. Like, it kind of hit hard a little bit, if I'm to be completely honest. But I honestly highly recommend this game. So far I'm really enjoying it, so yeah, it's great. If you like fairy tales, it's great because yeah, as you can tell, the main character ends up getting cursed and becomes Cinderella, and I think she kind of encounters all the allies through her journey of breaking a curse. So that's Cinderella Phenomenon. The next one I checked out is called Seduce Me the Otome. It sounds kind of like, this definitely not an otome game that I would want to introduce to my friends, if I'm to be completely honest. Not like the theme of it, just more the name of it sounds kind of like, you know, a bit too sexy, if you know what I mean. But again, I've really, like, the couple of hours I've played, I really enjoy it, and I've kind of found it a little bit addictive. Basically, this one's more of a sort of contemporary setting in that it is about this girl who goes to high school, so it's like a high school setting. The other one's very fictional, like Cinderella Phenomenon is very supernatural and fictional, whereas this one's a bit more realistic and, like, you know, you're in high school, and basically it's about the main character who things happen to her, and then she encounters these 5 incubi brothers. Now, because they're incubi, I guess they get energy from, you know, like kissing and touching type of thing. So it did kind of get like, the romance advanced relatively quickly. Like, when I was playing it, I was like, oh, okay, oh, they're already making out, fair enough, okay. But I don't know, I felt that was quite refreshing, because a lot of otome games, I feel like I understand why, but they like take forever to get to anything romantic, because I guess it makes sense, like that feels more natural, and I understand that a lot of people prefer that. But when you're used to that, it is very refreshing when the main character and love interest just kind of like fall in love and, you know, are all romantic like really quickly, because it's just not something I encounter very often. But it is fun. I wouldn't say like the quality is necessarily the best. Like, the artwork, I would say, isn't like professional level. But so if you're a bit of an art snob, this may not be the game for you. But I personally thought it was enough. This is fully voiced actually, so I'm quite impressed. You know, the main character is voiced, I think. Was the main character? I think the main character is voiced. Her friends are voiced. The, you know, love interests are voiced. Like, the sub characters are voiced, and it's good voice acting. I'm really impressed, and the storytelling I'm enjoying. As I said, like, things happen very quickly and it's very eventful. But you know, and there's a lot of this stuff. Well, I like it when a game is in a contemporary setting but implements like sort of dark supernatural things. So, you know, these demons, a devil appears, like incubi. I love all of this dark stuff, so, you know, it really is right up my street. As I said, the artwork is not necessarily like, I think the sprites are well drawn, but of course when it comes to CGs, it's a little bit harder to get the angles right. So some of the CGs I wouldn't say is like professional level quality. So if you're really, really picky about like CGs, then maybe this may not be the game for you. But if you can look past that, I mean, it is a free game, so, you know, I'm not expecting like otomate level insane beautiful art. I'm expecting something that's good enough that I can experience the story. And if you're like me, where you care more about how the story is written and how, you know, things happen and like what the allies are like, then I would highly recommend this game, because it is actually kind of addictive. Like, yesterday I could not stop playing it. I've gone for, they're all very different, these incubi brothers. Like, one is a complete flirt, like, oh my god. If I came across someone like that in real, I'd be like, ew, go away from me. But it is an otome game, so I'm like, you are really sexy. So yeah, it's fun. Another is like a bit of a bad boy, and a lot of us like the bad boy trope, so it's great. Another one is like the cute young puppy dog. Another one is like the calm, you know, cool one. And then obviously the eldest brother has glasses and is like the calm and even cooler one. So you've got like quite varied choice there. And the mascot character that I've come across, I actually laughed out loud and real. Like, if you play this and you come across it, you'll know what I mean. There's basically this creature that appears, and when it appeared it made me laugh because I'm a sucker for mascot characters in games. But anyway, and the choices, I think quite a few of them did kind of show different things, and also I like that when you pick a certain answer, like this thing appears where it shows whether you've increased love points or not. This is another thing in Cinderella Phenomenon that I noticed, is that when you pick an answer that increases the love points of a certain character, a little gem will appear in the corner of the colour of the character, I guess. So I thought that was quite nice because it means, you know, you don't have to look at a guide necessarily. So yeah, if you like a contemporary setting with some supernatural elements, this is great. I think it has got like a dark feel to it as well. So, you know, I mean, I enjoy it. Now, next up I'm going to talk about is Nekopara Catboys Paradise. I guess this is more of a like mainstream kind of large scale game that I think quite a few of you may already know of. This is a game that's a little bit more fluffy than the previous two that I've mentioned. It's about a girl that starts working at a cafe with the help of 4 catboys, of which she's supposed to choose one of. Now, it's a very short and simple game. I believe it was made as an April Fool's joke by the Nekopara team, which normally make games that are, you know, male MC and female allies, so like a bishoujo game or gal game, whatever you want to call it. But as an April Fool's joke, they made like an otome game, and so it's relatively short, but it was quite fun, to be honest. I did do a stream on it, and I have uploaded the videos on my YouTube, so you can check it out if you want. There are 4 characters. You know, you don't see the development or the romance or anything like that because, you know, it's quite short. But if you want something fluffy and you just want to experience some like light-hearted otome, then this is perfect because, again, it's free and I don't know, it was just fun. It's just literally like looking at the experience of this main character starting this cafe. Although if there's one thing to note that I wasn't so sure about, is that the main character does not talk. She just like, you see the camera moving up and down or left and right when she like nods or says no, and it's just, I don't know, it took time for me to kind of get used to it because I'm not used to that. I'm used to the main character having a bit more personality. So yeah, if you want something light and fluffy, this is great. However, if you don't like a main character that's a little bit like, you know, quiet and, you know, doesn't say anything, then it may not be the game for you. But I still wanted to add it to this list because it's quite a happy game, unlike the other two, which I think will have like dark and sad elements. Like Seduce Me also made me tear up a little bit, actually. Now, the 4th and last one I'm going to mention is quite different from the other 3. It's called Our Lives, and it's an otome game that to me almost felt like a personality quiz. And the reason I say this is because it's very like, you have so many choices and so many like parameters, and honestly it's a bit crazy. Like, I think that's the appeal of the game though, it's that you can make all of these decisions. You've got one love interest in the free version, and depending on your choices he turns out to be a different boy, because you start off as a child and then you grow up together and you go through like different steps. I think you have child, adolescent, teenager, and then adult, I think, and each step, like depending on your choices, Cove, which is the name of the ally, is different. And I think it's a very accepting game in that, you know, you don't have to romance the guy. Like it really gives you all the options. I personally struggled to enjoy it, reason being that I can't stand personality tests because I have and still have, you know, an identity crisis almost. So any like personality test that makes you really think about yourself drives me absolutely nuts, because one side of my brain's like, oh, this is the answer, and the other side of my brain's like, are you joking? It's more like this. Because I always joke that I've got a Japanese me and an English me, and I just, it's complicated. So I really struggle with this game, which is why I'm probably going to do a stream where me and my subs and my followers and friends can all, you know, make the decisions together, because that will help me a lot. Because I do want to play this game. It's got overwhelmingly positive reviews and I see the appeal. Like, honestly, Every 3 to 5 minutes you get a choice, and depending on your choice, obviously it changes how Cove ends up becoming, and like the relationship between the main character and Cove. And you know, it's amazing how many different sort of shapes and forms the story can end up in. So I think at the moment, like the bit that I have played is Cove and the main character is 8-year-olds. Cove moves into this beach town and is a bit unhappy because, you know, he was back at home and then his parents, I think, broke up, so his father and him had to move to this beach town, and so obviously he's going through a turmoil of emotions, which hit me hard because, you know, my parents separated at a young age as well, so, you know, it did hit me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, but I can really see the appeal. It's a very accepting game, you know, like you have all your pronouns and you know, you don't have to end up in like a romantic relationship if that makes you uncomfortable. Like honestly, it's great, it gives you so many options, but for me, I struggled. But I wanted to include it in this video because I see the appeal, I really do, and I can see so many people enjoying it, and no, I don't want anyone missing out on this great sort of otome game that's a little bit more refreshing in that it's not just storytelling, it's like you get to implement yourself into the game. Although I can see it being really dangerous in that, like, because Cove is so affected by your choices, you might like end up falling in love with him and then, but he's not real, and I can feel the tragedy already, so I think it's quite dangerous. But yeah, so that ends my kind of recommendations in terms of free PC games. Now, I have not played that many mobile games personally, but I am aware of one app in which you kind of have a collection of these small otome games. Some are available on Switch for a price, and in this app you can also purchase them, but you can also accumulate points by doing certain things that allows you to like purchase some of these. And also there are lots of samples available, which is why, although it's not completely free, I thought I'd include in this video for those who don't have a PC. Like if you have mobile, then at least you can try out otome games using your mobile, using the, I think it's called Love 365 app, because there are free samples of certain roots, which, you know, helps give you an idea of how otome games work, and it might kind of introduce you to the genre. And there's a couple that I have played one called something, oh, I can't remember, something Bid by the Baddest Bidder or something, no. If you check the app, you'll know which one I'm talking about, and it's like about this main character ending up being sold in the black market, and then the LI is basically the person who bought you type of thing. And then Kissed by the Baddest Bidder, I think that's it. Another one I played is Enchanted in the Moonlight. That was another interesting one. It's about Ayakashi and this main character being like targeted by someone and her having special powers or something that helps the Ayakashi, and all the Ayakashi want her because of these powers. And that I think they're quite fun reads, just in a kind of casual way, like when you're bored or something, because they are fairly sweet and short, you know, they're not like the long otomate games where it's like hours and hours and it takes like 45 hours to complete. These are quite short and sweet, you just go through them quite quickly, so they're real casual reads. And as I said, there are free samples, so if you want to kind of get to know what the genre is like, then I think this is perfect. But anyway, I'm going to end this video here. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and hopefully I'll see you in another one of my videos. Bye!